In the year 2000, three men walked into the headquarters of the most powerful video rental company on earth. They had a small startup. They were drowning in debt. They needed help. They offered to sell their entire company for $50 million. The CEO of Blockbuster looked at them and laughed. 10 years later, Blockbuster was bankrupt, and the company they laughed at, Netflix, was worth $300 billion. This is the story of the worst business decision in history. The year is 1990. Friday night in America has one ritual. You drive to your local Blockbuster. You walk through the blue and yellow shelves. You grab a movie. You stand in line. You pay $6 to watch it for 2 days. If you forget to return it on time, they charge you a late fee. Those late fees are not small. They generate $800 million a year in pure profit. Blockbuster is at the top of the world. They have 9,000 stores in 17 countries. They employ 84,000 people. They are not a company. They are an empire. Then in 1997, two men in California get an idea that will destroy that empire. Reed Hastings has just paid Blockbuster a $40 late fee for returning the movie Apollo 13 too late. He is furious. On his way home from the gym, he has a thought. What if you could rent movies without ever paying late fees? He partners with a man named Mark Randolph. They start a tiny company in a garage. They rent out DVDs by mailing them to customers. They call it Netflix. By the year 2000, Netflix has 300,000 subscribers, but they are losing money fast. They are about to run out of cash. Reed Hastings has one idea left: sell the company to the giant, sell to Blockbuster. September 2000, Reed Hastings flies to Dallas, Texas. He walks into the office of John Antioco, the CEO of Blockbuster. Hastings makes his pitch. Blockbuster buys Netflix for $50 million. In return, Netflix runs Blockbuster's online business. John Antioco listens. Then he begins to laugh. He says, the dot-com hysteria is overblown. Online streaming is not a real business. He turns down the offer. Reed Hastings walks out of the office. He flies back to California with empty hands. 20 years later, that one rejection will be remembered as the worst decision in business history. By 2007, Netflix changes the game. They launch streaming, no mail, no DVDs, just press a button and watch. Blockbuster panics. They try to copy. They release their own streaming service. They drop late fees, but the customers have already moved on. In 2010, Blockbuster files for bankruptcy. Their stock, once worth $5 billion, is now worthless. 9,000 stores close. 84,000 jobs disappear. Today, only one Blockbuster store remains in the entire world. A tiny location in Bend, Oregon, kept open as a museum. Netflix did the opposite. They invested billions into original content. House of Cards, Stranger Things, and Squid Game. Today, Netflix has 270 million subscribers in over 190 countries. The company that Blockbuster could have owned for $50 million is now worth over $300 billion, a 6,000 times return. The lesson of Blockbuster is brutal. They didn't fail because they were stupid. John Antioco was a brilliant CEO. He had built one of the largest retail empires in America. They failed because they couldn't see past their own success. Their late fees were too profitable. Their stores were too valuable. Their model was too perfect to change. When you protect the past, you destroy the future. Reed Hastings understood this. John Antioco didn't. That is why one of them is a billionaire and the other is a footnote. If this story made you think, subscribe to Empire Decoded. Up next on Empire Decoded, how Apple almost went bankrupt in 1997 and the one phone call that saved them. See you then.